Chapter 21 of the first book of the Kings in the Bible has this beautiful story about King Ahaz and one of his subjects, Naboth. Now, Naboth had a vineyard which was pretty close to King's palace, and King wanted to buy his property or vineyard from Naboth, and he made an offer to Naboth either to sell his vineyard to King or exchange his vineyard for better one from the king's vineyards. But Naboth refused on the ground that he said, it is my ancestral property inherited from ancestors, and so there was this emotional attachment to that property which he did not want to get rid of. When Ahaz the king heard that Naboth is not willing to sell his property to King, he was disturbed and angry. And so he goes back to his home and to his palace, and his wife notices that King is upset. He's not happy. And so when King narrates the whole story to his wife, the queen, she plots to kill Naboth. And the long story short is Naboth is killed. Then after Naboth was killed, there comes the prophet Elijah, and he prophesies about the punishment God is going to send on King Ahaz for having done this. And then Ahaz consequently repents of his wrongdoing, and God forgives him. But in the first place, we could ask a question: what was the reason for King Ahaz to be disturbed and angry for Naboth not willing to part away with his property? This whole incident speaks about the nature of human heart. King, as we know, was rich enough. He had everything he wanted. What difference would have made that small property would have made in the life of this king? Basically nothing. But then the nature of human heart is such that if you set your heart on something and if you do not get it, that is going to disturb you and trouble you a lot. But I think we need to learn to say to our hearts that our hearts, every desire cannot be fulfilled. We need to learn to say no to our heart at some point. Our heart should learn to accept no as an answer to many of their desires. Those of you who have knowledge of economics would know that there is this principle that unlimited wants and limited means. Our human resources are always limited. We cannot have our unlimited wants being satisfied all the time. We should learn to say no to our hearts. We should learn to say that we cannot have everything we want all the time. There are times we need to learn to live without the things that we think are absolutely important for us. They may not be. What was the reason for King Ahaz to be disturbed and angry? There was no reason for him. But let us know that even a king cannot have everything he wants. King also has a limit. I think to be very happy and joyful, or to be able to live happy life, this is a very important principle that we need to know, that we need to learn to let our hearts know that it cannot have everything it desires. Thank you.